And we're back. We'll make this really quick and easy today. We're doing more tests on my Miraidon team for the global challenge. I haven't started building it yet, if I'm being honest. Like, I haven't even decided entirely what I want to do. Like, I'm still trying to figure out what feels right. So we're gonna try to keep pushing that. Right now the team's gonna look pretty much the exact same to you, except for this. Instead of running Helping Hand, I'm running Trick Room. I've become very sick of Trick Room. Pokemon set it up, I can't deal with it, I'm not interested in going into another matchup where I have no clean way of dealing with Trick Room consistently. Whimsicott provides me a good way to do that. So, game one, we're going to lead Miraidon every single time, no matter what. And we're going to lead Miraidon with Instant, since the main thing that Sableye is going to do is click Will-O-Wisp for Thunder Wave, neither of which affect the two leads. Iron Crown is going to be my damage in the back, and well, now I'm thinking, yeah, I don't think Iron Hands is great here, and even Miraidon has some pretty serious drawbacks. Generally, especially defensive, it can reduce. Yeah, you know what? I'll bring Flutter Mane. It also just provides some speed control, which is good. One thing I didn't mention that I probably should have is that I've tweaked the EVs a little bit. Flutter Mane isn't quite as bulky as it used to be, but by taking on its speed boost, it will always outspeed Calyrex, Shadow Rider that is, at -1. If Calyrex, sorry, let's rephrase that. If Calyrex is in Trick Room and it's -1 speed, Trick Room. God damn it, you know what? Forget it. Tailwind, -1, me still fast. Me still faster. See, the less you think, the better. Anyway, let's obliterate that Comfey. I don't want Comfey around for the rest of this game. I'm not interested. It's one of those Pokemon where if you can get rid of it really quickly, just like Rillaboom, getting rid of it really quickly will win you games. Speaking of winning games, we finished yesterday at 1297. We just won. We're now 1319. We are slowly making a push with this team on the ladder. For the first time in a while as well, where I've actually been somewhat consistently growing on the ladder. Video today will be probably about 30 minutes. I don't have another tournament to upload, so I could probably drag out this old tournament I played like a few weeks ago. I could try that. Spoiler alert, I'm not doing that. I'm probably going to do a second video today, and it's probably going to be the Battle Stadium. Just so I can keep playing that a little bit. Actually, there might not be a second one, and I'll try to get 3 videos tomorrow. Yeah, I'll go for 3 videos tomorrow, and instead of doing 2 videos today, I'll focus on building a variation of this team so I can bring that to the stadium tomorrow. Anyway, with all that said, I'm going to lead Miraidon Flutter Mane. Flutter Mane will consistently outspeed everything on their team, no matter what. In the back, I can put Iron Crown. I actually want to change my leads to be Flutter Mane, Iron Crown, because if I put Miraidon in the back, I can guarantee that Rillaboom goes somewhat wasted in any given situation. Cool. It's not perfect, but I can now Icy Wind. I'm probably better off Icy Wind protecting, since Follow Me is very possible and likely. Okay, so it's not a variant that I can just move on from. Okay. How do I get around this? I kind of made this whole assumption on the idea that I would have speed after that. Yeah, they just follow me anyway, so I can guarantee Clefairy body then. Assuming I actually survive I do survive one. Okay. So the only good news is now that Calyrex is slightly more vulnerable. Problem with that is I don't think I'm going to survive any amount of double attacks. I'll fake out their Instant and Protect. That wasn't a very smart play. They do end up faking me out. Boom. Astral Barrage comes through. Good chip onto Instant. But it shouldn't be enough. I can now knock off. Pivot to Miraidon. Try to live one hit. Since their intention is just to double Instant. So, I'd like to preface this with, this game's pretty much over. Like, I'm going to keep trying to make something happen, but I don't think we're getting there. Okay. We're going to Parting Shot Calyrex, swap to Iron Crown, just so I have a probable switch. 2 seconds. Okay. Ooh. Miraidon hits the field again. That's game. I'm not even going to play it out any further. A significantly faster Calyrex that will clown me? No, thank you. So they're probably going to try to hold back their Terra on Comfey. Not Comfey, on Terapagos. And use Comfey to set up further because of the Terra Shell and Floral Healing and all that stuff. What I can do pretty easily is I can go Miraidon and then a pivot, probably Instant for this one. I can bring Iron Crown in the back as good special damage. And now that I'm looking at it, in terms of beating their team, I probably want Iron Hands just to beat their Chi-Yu in one turn really easily. It's probably double Protect if I'm being honest. But if I want to play it safe, I'll fake out Terapagos and Volt Switch onto Ogerpon. I would love to stop Ogerpon for the turn. Cool, not much damage, not enough. Volt Switch. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, it's Covert, okay. So all their regeneration is Rillaboom. I can fake out Terapagos, Parting Shot, Rillaboom. Cool, they also U-turn, that's not the worst. Since I can just hold back on... Okay, here's my play. I've got it now. It's not a great play, and it won't do tons, because Tachyon will... Yeah, well, Tachyon will still break it. Ogre gets Parting Shot, nice. My play is now Drain Punch Tachyon. Cool, there goes Stellar, that works for me. Following me is not my favorite. Provably faster now. Is it Rocky Helmet? Why did I take damage? Oh, because I'm Iron Crown, you clown. I'll swap Instant in and Volt Switch. Back into Iron Hands. Starstorm takes out Iron Hands. Okay, finally, I'm in a pretty interesting position. I can now fake out Terrapagos Tachyon. It's fine. Good chip. Starstorm. Oh, that's right, you can't fake out Terrapagos here. What I can do is I can swap to Miraidon. And then Tachyon into Rillaboom again. There, I control terrain now. I can now Terrastalize. Electro Drift into Comfey. Volt Switch into Terrapagos. Protect is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Oh, I didn't check that. Unfortunately, that just lost me the game, didn't it? yeah, no, definitely did. That stinks. So I need to beat. I need to have a better way to beat Iron Hands. Not Iron Hands. Terrapagos. Why am I struggling with names so much all the time? Anyway. So, on their team looking at speed me, I look at it, I instantly know Fluttermane could. Is it likely? No, but it's possible. Leaving Miraidon there is probably not very safe, so I can go Fluttermane, Ironham, Crown. I definitely want Miraidon in the back. They have Tailwind and Trick Room support. I feel like this might be Whimsicott's game to clutch up, actually. I changed my leads accordingly. I can go Iron Crown, Whimsicott. The instant Tailwind would give me a great chance to add speed. Relevant threats. I'll put Miraidon in the back. I don't need to Terrastalize to make plays like that. From there, I'll bring Incin just as a good intimidator since a lot of their team relies on physical. One downside to that is that I can't speed anything. Let's Volt Switch, Volcarona, and then I think we can Tailwind. That's probably a generally safe play. I'll Light Screen because I don't want to. That verifies that neither of those women are super fast. Clear Amulet, yeah. Heatwave comes through. I take that hit decently. Precipice comes through. I don't take that hit decently. I don't really fear Volcarona, so I'm going to Draco Meteor Groudon and Moonblast Groudon. I'm going to double into it. I want Groudon gone. Holy sunburns, I tell you, they are messy today. Give me a special attack drop, that'd be funny. Tailwind, fine. It's not good, but it's fine. Pivot to Iron Crown. Tailwind. This is where I get a bit spooked since I'm gonna need to beat a Fluttermane that's moving a lot faster than me. Okay. Interesting. I can protect, Terrastalize, Fairy, Electro Drift. They don't have any ground types anymore. So I'll go for Fluttermane. Okay, no special attack drops. Okay. Does pick up the one hit. Does come through with a Heat Wave. No burn, nice. Game's not over yet. It's not great, but it's not over. This is where I need to make something happen. I think the biggest threat is that Volcarona. isn't it? So, well, if I'm them, fake out Heat Wave. How much does the Heat Wave do? To Miraidon? Volcarona Heat Wave does 21. Okay, so that play is valid. So I'm not going to be going down to a fake out play. Of course, they could fake out Crown, but it's physically bulky. It is booster attack on Iron Hands. Actually, now that I've lost my Crown, it is now truly over. How much does Electro Drift do? Pretty good damage. If I'd had the chance to use Psychic into it, then I would have been fine, but I didn't have Rage Powder, so that's that. We're slipping, I tell you, we're slipping. Let's look at this. So, part of it came down to not having enough damage, didn't it? One thing we can do is that I think we can afford a tiny bit of, just a teensy bit. Whatever we can afford to put into special attack, I'll do that. It's to 1 point, but it might make a difference. I still haven't decided on a Terror type here, so I'll have a quick look at that. In theory, Terra Water's really good, so I'll give that a quick run. It doesn't beat opposing Miraidon very well, but it does handle Groudon and other fire and ground type attackers pretty well. So I'll look there for the first time, for our first test. I'm gonna be real. I think I need to play matchups with Trick Room better, instead of focusing on having tons and tons and tons of tools to beat it. Since, obviously, a few games isn't enough to verify it, but I would like to have moves that I can click every single game, no matter what. I'm still running Covert, aren't I? Yeah. I'll change that to Mental Herb soon, and take advantage of the fact that people expect Covert Cloak and not Mental Herb. We go Miraidon. In theory, Miraidon Instin's a really nice lead, but in practice, I can just put Mouse Hold and Annihilate in the front, and that'd leave me pretty screwed. Do excuse me. I'll put Fluttermane as my second. That means I can always give a reasonable shot to outspeed their whole team. I'm thinking Instant Crown. That's probably the way to go, isn't it? Like, yeah, let's go Instant Crown. The raw damage that Crown brings against a lot of their team is just so unbeatable. So it's impossible for Annihilate to outspeed me. That's really good. Which means I can just try Slice Fairy, Dazzling Gleam, and Moonblast into Annihilate, but I'm taking it out one turn. If it's Scarfed, it needs to then... It then can't outspeed unless it can't do the KO thing. Ooh. This is where being slow has a pretty big detriment. Because, yeah, I am now being forced to take hits that I don't really want to take. And that Dazzling Gleam was a crit, wasn't it? There was a crit somewhere in there, wasn't there? Yeah, crit on the Annihilate, and it did 41. Fuck. I can pivot to Insyn, but that's going to lose... Actually, that shouldn't lose me the game every single time, so using Fake Tears will lose me the game. I can't really do anything, actually. I'll Moonblast there, then. Like, I'm already giving up a massive... I'm giving up on a pretty... Well, I'm not giving up, but I'm giving away a pretty big thingamacgyver. I think that's the nice way of saying it. What I'll do is I'll fake out into their Insyn. And I'll fake out Insyn, Electro Drift into Annihilate. Good, my fake out goes first. Electro Drift does pick up the KO. I have no way of controlling the speed now. I'm going to Parting Shot Zation, Electro Drop, Electro Attack. Bingo. They are trapped on the field, which is really good for me. What should be like knockoff? Parting Shot, not great. But I get the pivot to get more out of my Parting Shot. Actually drop Zacian's attack. I'm going to protect Parting Shot into Zacian again. Okay. Probably knock off, yeah. Now that I think I've lost now. Since I don't have enough damage long term. Like I Psychic and I Stomping Tantrum into Zacian, it does decent damage. Like I get a double protect on that Parting Shot instant. That's one way in theory I can take this a bit further. That's a lot of damage. It was a crit, that's why. That stinks. It was a bad play, but the whole game wasn't really progressing the way I wanted it to, so I had to make something happen. You know how we were making progress before? Like, we've pretty much lost everything that we made across that last video. The play has got to get better eventually. Iron Crown Instant. I want Miraidon in the back. I'm just going to call no... Well, do I need to worry about? The only speed tier that matters is Urshifu and Fluttermane. Everything else is slower than Miraidon. Which means Fluttermane is infinitely better in a matchup like this than bringing Tailwind. If they're naturally slower, putting up a Tailwind is less valuable. You know what, actually, I'm going to blame the sunburns for why I'm doing so bad, because they are so distracting. They don't hurt anymore, but they're flaky and they're itchy and I hate it. Terastallize Water, Tachyon Cutter into Fluttermane while we fake out Groudon. I don't know where that came from. I locked in for a second there. It was probably more than a second, but I locked right in on that play. Swap to Fluttermane. As we Parting Shot Raging Bolt. Yeah, that's a good play actually. Swap to Fluttermane, Parting Shot Raging Bolt. That guarantees no Thunderclaps. Yep, Thunderclap fails. Bulk up. Bingo, Raging Bolt goes on to take the hit. Miraidon hits the field. Basically, their Terra's not off the board yet, so I need to figure out how I'm going to make the play that wins me the game quickly. It's Terra Fire on Groudon, so here's my thought. If we Moonblast Draco, even if if Miraidon goes down, then that's game. Can I deal with Groudon using Crown? I think I can. Yeah, I think I can. Unfortunately, okay. This could have gone a lot worse, actually. This is fine. Good damage. What's going to happen next is I'm going to Moonblast into Rillaboom while I switch to Incin. I want to take Rillaboom's attack down a little bit just in case they want a Grassy Glide. Fake Out is fine. Moonblast doesn't pick up the KO. Precious Blades, of course it does. That's not surprising at all. Miraidon Crown hits the field, that shuts down Rillaboom's main form of damage. What we can do now, it's not a super wide variation of moves. I would love to take care of Groudon this turn if possible. The fact that Miraidon's on 100% though makes pretty much everything impossible. Raging Bolt does hit the field. Groudon protects, Tachyon fails. How much does that do? 21. Cool. Dazzling Gleam protect. I mean that game that loses me the game actually, doesn't it? Since I need to attack to get rid of, absolutely must attack to get rid of Groudon. Maybe they predict the protect play. They know I'm Life Orb, so maybe they're expecting protect, and that will give me a chance to further damage the Groudon. Not they had me completely. How much that would have done? Oh, nothing. It would have done absolutely. That was a crit. Okay, now's where we need to start thinking about adaptations, because this is not working. I keep playing and I keep losing. I feel like at this point, regardless of how good I play, the resources just aren't correct. How do I get more out of Iron Crown? I don't know. I feel like I'm just missing something everywhere. Like just as a whole, the team is missing something. If that makes sense. Like, Iron Hands comes to games, but I don't know if it contributes enough. Like, a second Fake Out user isn't a bad thing. I could replace Iron Hands with Farigiraf. That could definitely work. Let's quickly look at the best. Oh, it is the highest base stat Fake Out user. But yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, there's a real shot that the right Pokemon is Farigiraf. Like I could do a Farigiraf build, make it. We could just do like basic Citrus Berry sort of thing. Citrus, Armor Tail. I am gonna change one slight thing about this Crown build is that I wanna add Terra Blast to the team. I do click Volt Switch and it is nice. I'm okay with manual switching on Crown. I'm perfectly okay with that. Which we got Protect. It also means I have another Pokemon that can Protect to take games slightly longer. 8 functionally gives me my Trick Room support. It's another Helping Hand user. And it can just run. It can run relevant damage. Whatever that damage is, I'm not sure yet. I'm probably going to throw Psychicon and call it a day. I'm happy to just take Showdown's recommendation for now and move on. As a whole, Miraidon struggles against Groudon. Well, my whole team kind of struggles against Groudon, doesn't it? I handle Pokemon like I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this Crown, because it just doesn't. There's too many situations where it can't do the damage it needs. I'm going to quickly pull something up. You won't be able to see it, but I am doing it. Actually, you might be able to see it, actually. I'll see if I can change it over. Okay, we're back. So, I'm trying to figure out what I need from Iron Hands. Iron Crown. He currently uses Psychic and Steel type damage. And it generally does good damage. Whatever that last type is, it should give me a better matchup to as many types holistically. If I add, let's just look through this. Let's start with fighting. Weak to fighting. Resist, immune, resist, weak. So it probably wouldn't be fighting. Flying type. So you look at it. Bug is weak. Grass is weak. But that's it. Poison. Ground resist, ghost resists. Super effective against grass, but that's about it. It doesn't have enough death. Ground is a pretty good one here. Flying's immune to it, but that's fine. Bug resisted, that's also fine. Fire's weak to it. Electric's weak to it. It does add depth and relevant damage, so it's also decent defensively. I mean, we don't have to look too hard for rock. Flying's weak, bug's weak, fire's weak. That's about it. We're not going to humor ghost there, or bug. Fire could be decent. How many types resisted is probably the more relevant question. 1, 2, 3 of the types resisted. Everything else is neutral. It doesn't add tons new, but in theory, adding fire would mean, yeah, you're left with a much smaller variation of types that can't be hit super effective. You also hit some pretty important types super effective by doing that. Well, let's just steel type's the one I do like there. It's not massively relevant, but it's good. Water. It's 1, 2 types. Nah. Same kind of true with grass. Electric. If you add electric, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 2 types, I think. 3 types, sorry, resisted. It's slightly worse. It's about the same as fire, actually. Adding ice. How many resistances to ice are in this group? 1, 2. There's 2 resistances, so in terms of hitting the most, you do that, but then you still can't hit steel super effective. Still can't hit steel. No, you can't hit steel. No, you can't. Okay, so whatever type we bring on has to be able to hit steel for the bare minimum of neutral. Meaning that we have a very limited collection of types that actually can work. We could use fighting, but then you'll still never be able to hit Calyrex for amazing damage, for great damage. I say amazing damage, I should say great damage since, well, the point is, it doesn't shred Calyrex, which is annoying. I mean, regardless, actually we can probably narrow this down. In theory, ground is really good, because that'll give me a great matchup into the standard Groudon set. So we'll consider ground. What else would give me a good matchup into the standard Groudon set? Rain, Terra Blast. Ooh, actually that might be a fun one. It would involve me having to change the team a little bit, but in theory, Rain and Terra Blast could go really well together. It doesn't necessarily depth in your offense tons, but it does what you need. In theory, Electric also works, but I don't love that on pretty much any level. So does Dark, but I also don't love that. I think we have an idea now. I'll cut back to the team builder, and I'll see you in a second. And we're back. So, we went through that little tirade. We already were Terra Water, but we're going to change Volt Switch to Terra Blast. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to triple check. You don't get Rain Dance. You don't. Sorry, Whimsicott, you're done. Just for now. Actually, if we're going to do that, then what I should actually do is I should go Volt Switch. Team. Copy. So this would be the Torn variant of the team. We use Tornadus. I never changed it over, but the intention is to run Mental Herb on this regardless. Iron Crown, I want you to quickly have Terra Blast. Good. I'm okay since I'm running for Rigoraph. I don't have to feel too sad about getting rid of Whimsicott with Helping Hand, since I have another better Helping Hand user. I can run Protect, Tailwind, Rain Dance, Bleak Wind, and that will generally give me good matchups. No, that should in theory give me good damage at least. Whatever it's thinking, I should be able to take that on board for now. I love full specially defensive. Well, actually, how much do you have with that? I'd be happy to wind down to 35. Take 1 point here, split the rest in defense, call it a day. Decently defensive. There. I'll also do one quick, I'm going to do a quick housekeeping thing, so editor cut out. Okay, we're going to do a few more battles and then wrap up. I did make one noteworthy change to the team that I didn't talk about. I'm going to run safety goggles. I think it'd be good. As for Terror type, I didn't do this. I was going to make a fairy and call it a day. It just occurred to me I hadn't done it. So, on to the next. Hopefully I get a variant of this team that feels good, really good to play, so that I can run that on the Battle Stadium, and then I can run that for the Global Challenge. But we'll see how that goes. If I can use rental teams for the Global Challenge, then I'll use the Rosencreutz team, but I'm going to assume for now that I can't, and I'm not going to look it up, because I'm a weirdo. Anyway, Miraidon Fluttermane means I can somewhat reliably... Actually, what I can do is I can lead Farig Flutter, and that should guarantee that no matter what, Trick Room isn't going up. It will make their lives very difficult. I can put Iron Crown in the back. I want Miraidon. So there was a part of me for a second that thought, do I need Miraidon? Do I need Miraidon? I do need Miraidon. Miraidon's very good. I'll pivot to Miraidon here and Fake Tears into Clefairy. This is a cheeky play now that I think about it. Boom. Surging Strikes is going to take Fluttermane. That's fine. Oh, it doesn't take Fluttermane. That is triple fine. Terra Fairy, Dazzling Gleam. Icy Wind. I want to guarantee my outspeed. Follow me, that's fine. It misses Clefairy, I don't really care. That doesn't take Clefairy. But it does take care of the Urshifu, which is really nice, since that was the thing that was going to make my life really difficult the whole way through. I'll pivot to Frigoraph and Moonblast into the Clefairy slot. I don't want to be dealing with that. They got me really good there. I can now Trick Room. Probably just Moonblast into the Clefairy slot. Oh, Helping Hand. I might not survive that. I do. Okay. Well, that gives me an interesting situation to work with. I can put Miraidon on the field. I can then Dazzling Gleam for a large percentage. Oh, they've already Terastallized, so I don't have to fear as much about the Terastallization. Okay. I'll see what I can do. I can go Helping Hand or I can go Psychic. I think Helping Hand, Dazzling Gleam is probably the play. Just chip it as far as it'll go. Okay. Glacial Lance doesn't pick up the Miraidon. Valiant. That's spooky. That's very spooky. We will Tachyon at the Calyrex slot and Dazzling Gleam. Since Calyrex is doing all the important stuff, I'll take care of that. What? Now I can't use that. They forfeit. Whew. We did win a game. That's good. Yeah. I mean, based on that, I'd say the team's good, but obviously If it actually is good in practice, we don't know. Okay. Another Wildcard team. I'm sick of this already. Flutter for Egg gives me a good chance no matter what. The problem is that it has no offense. In theory, I can lead Miraidon for Rig, and that gives more or less the same. I can put Crown in the back, and I can use Flutter as a late game taunter. The rain's already going to be up, so if I want to use the rain to my advantage, I can. It's something worth remembering in the back of my Schnog. In theory, rain, booster energy, and all that stuff, and Life Orb going into one Terror Blast should do a lot of damage. The relative damage to the Nah, you know what? Let's not think of damage relative to anything else. Spirit Break, I didn't think about that. That just lost me the game. Because that's not going to do half the health. Well, it did do half the health, but half the health don't matter right now. Oh, they didn't go for Trick Room. It's fine. I should be losing, but I'm not. Urshifu hits the field. Next to Iron Crown. I can now Terrestrialize Water, Tachyon Cutter, Psychic into Urshifu. By Terrestrializing, I guarantee no matter what, I will have a good board state end of turn. I'm already blanking. There's Flame in the back. I don't have to worry about that. Perfect. Bye bye. Take a little bit of chip. Swing Strikes does go into Freegraph. That's fine. I'll have 3 turns to finish this game up. So what I can do is I can Terra Blast, Landorus, Icy Wind, and just guarantee that Lando's not the problem for the rest of the game. Perfect. That is game. Psychic, Moonblast, they do not have the way. They do not have the means with which to avoid losing the game. They've disconnected. I'll see you in a minute. Cool. It's been a minute. I won. That's good. On to the next. I'm thinking we do 1, maybe 2 more battles as I try to wrap up for the day. Another variant on Chibeli's team. Quite interesting, I dare say. My brain is blanking though. I know that's not the original team. Where is on top of the world? It's the Ogre Pond then. It's the Ogre Pond. No Ogre Pond, everything else is the same. Okay. This is where I get a bit spooked by not having... Well, actually, I'm running a slower Miraidon, so I'd have to feel pretty comfortable using for Farigiraf in this context, and just going for, well, if that's the case, then I'm better off using Farigiraf Ensign with Miraidon in the back, and I'm pretty sure Iron Crown should be able to do pretty good here. That's probably there will be no moves from Miraidon this turn. They can go for the... Well, they could have switched to Farig, in which case there's certainly is some problems. But if they want to Electro Drift into Farigiraf, they're not going to get to. But more importantly, if they want to do that, Fake Out becomes really important. It's very possible that they'll swap Whimsicott to Farigiraf to achieve the same effect and still allow for the Electro Drift. But I just didn't feel like they were going to. Trick Room does go up. That's really big. The way we're going to do this is we're going to Psychic into Miraidon. I kind of want to double here and to see if I can take it out in one turn. Chip it down. Encore fails, good. Really good chip there. That's not Stomping Tantrum coming in useful there. Good, we don't get taken out by the hit. Iron Hands is going to hit the field. That's completely fair. I'm going to just protect here. Actually, what I could do is I can Psychic into Iron Hands, Terra Ghost, Parting Shot into Iron Hands. I can just make this a really big play. -1 Iron Hands in... Oh, they also went for Fake Out. That's why the best case scenario is that absolutely nothing goes on with the Iron Hands. Oh, they clicked Moonblast. That stinks. What I can do now is I can just double into the Iron Hand slot, since no amount of Iron Hands can... Well, that's not true, is it? How much did that Moonblast do? 34? It's pretty good damage. Do I think Iron Hands can do 34 damage? Maybe? It's a solid maybe. I'm going to bet on it not going that way. Well, I'm looking pretty stupid right now. But I am looking really, really stupid right now, but... Psychic, Stomping Tantrum. Actually, I don't want a Stomping Tantrum. I want Iron Hands around when I'm through Trick Room. So I'll just Fake Out Iron Hands. Well then, if I'm going to Fake Out, then the smarter play is to Psychic Whimsicott and just start chipping that down while I'm at it. And then next turn I can reset. As long as I don't take the KOs, I can reset Trick Room safely and use Iron Crown in Trick Room to win. Okay. It all wears off. Trick Room. And then Parting Shot into Iron Hands. That's probably the scary... Actually, no, the scary ones. Trick Room, Parting Shot into Whimsicott. Okay, they take that. -2. It's a crit, but it doesn't take the KO. Crown hits the field. How much did that Psychic do to Whimsicott? 28. They need to set up their... Actually, well, no, I know exactly what they're doing this turn now. Just based on the fact that we're in... Just based on the situation, I know exactly what they're doing, don't I? Iron Hands attacks into Iron Crown. So I'll attack Iron Hands and protect. As they set up live screen. I did not expect that. Oh god. It works, but it's not what I wanted. The only good news is that I'll have one turn to just lay on the beats for Miraidon. It's not going to terrestrialize. I'm certain of that much. This game is over, and I'm certain of that much. Chi-Yu. The idea of that Chi-Yu at speeding, not great. Like 2 points or a scarf is what decides if if this even has an opportunity to go any further. They can encore me, so I get the double protect. That's cool. But the game's over. Also, since adding Torn to the team, I haven't once wanted to bring it, which is not great. Not usually a good sign. But I did just say that, now I kind of want to bring Torn, and Iron Crown is my lead. Entei's got Inner Focus. It can't be flinched. It can't be intimidated. I feel like a lot of their team is reliant on being faster than me, actually. Yeah. Actually, what I'm gonna... I'm not sure yet. If we go Trick Room... Yeah, if we go Trick Room, I can pretty consistently outspeed a majority of this dude's team. Okay, yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Farigiraf, Miraidon, with Crown Instant in the back. Okay, that's fine. I can Trick Room, pivot to Instant to reduce Rillaboom damage. Snarl and a... I mean, the Intimidate is coming in clutch here, but Snarl and a... It's not really what you expected. Well, I don't think you expected it. I certainly didn't. Boom, Trick Room, we are in business. The way we're going to do this is we're just going to start ripping through their team. Well, ripping through is a pretty generous way of saying lightly chipping their team while I get into position. Cool, Psychic fails, but Parting Shot's going to be pretty good there. Miraidon's going to hit the field. Unfortunately, I'm taking the Stomping Tantrum, but that's fine. What I can do is I can just Helping Hand, Volt Switch into Zamazenta, which should go first. If Zamazenta's that's not great. Terra Grass is not my favourite. I do go next. Back to Incin. Fake Out is back on the table. So I need to break through Zamazenta quickly. I need to break through a lot of Pokemon quickly, actually. There's three Pokemon I can't really break through super easily. I can turn off their priority. That's a bad play. I can Terra Fairy to ensure that I take the incoming Body Press as well as I possibly can. Draco into Rillaboom. If I take enough damage... Well, if I take... Okay, here's where I get confuzzled. Yeah, I'll Draco there. Well, Zamazenta's at full strength. I take care of Zamazenta. Well, if it protects and they switch to... Protect U-turn's a really good play for them, actually. So I'm going to Translate Draco into Rillaboom. Parting Shot into Rillaboom. Good. Straight to Iron Crown. I'm expecting U-turn here. Yep. Crit's not my favorite, but yeah, it is what it is. Entei has to take the hit. It probably can't. That's good for me. Irrespective of what happens this turn, I want to be swapping to Incin. I'm not sure. Tachyon should do more damage, so I'll just focus on getting that dealt with. I'm concerned about my ability to beat this team out of Trick Room. I mean, we've moved fast, but I mean, the fact that we're here is, it's a little scary. It's not ideal to be in this position, but the good news is that I've swung terrain. So as long as I don't attack the Rillaboom slot too aggressively, I should be able to win. A Dazzling Gleam Tachyon Cutter play should allow me to chip down their team quickly. That's good. But Heavy Slam. But with all the drops, that's good. Are they doubling? No. But they do U-turn, which is going to make this obscenely difficult. Since now they can just Grassy Glide and Shadow Ball to win the game. Of course, it's very possible they don't have Shadow Ball, since I've seen more than a few sets that don't run it. But I certainly wouldn't bet on it. It is Shadow Ball set. Unfortunate. I think we're basically out of time here. But what's one more? Been on a bit of a losing streak, so I'd love to finish strong. Where are we sitting now on the ladder? Yeah, flat 12. We got up to 1300 to start the video, and now we're back at 1200. That's not good. It's not good at all. You know, I used to run a team that looked like this. I ran it for a very short period of time because I didn't like it, but it wasn't as if it was bad. It's another one of those times where, in theory, Farigiraf and Iron Crown can just lead me up. And I can just focus on getting into Trick Room. Use Miraidon, Incin to win the game. I brought Incin last time. He was actually pretty good as well, actually. My thoughts that if I get to a late game where I'm not in Trick Room, which is very possible and likely, that maybe having Flutter Mane would be better. Let's go, let's try it. It's the last battle, we're trying to learn. The only way to learn is to do. Okay, so we know, off rip, we know there's no fake out this turn. What's good is that I can just Trick Room. Trick Room, Terra Water, Terra Blast into Incin. That's a fun little play. To just chunk a massive bit of Incin. It ends up dragging him. Taking that Surging Strikes really well. Knockoff doesn't pick up a KO. That's really good. We're in Trick Room. Which means I can Psychic into Urshifu and Terra Water Blast into Incin again. Though I need to think this through more, don't I? Well, okay. If I bring Miraidon in, I take care of Incin this turn. I can take care of Miraidon next. I can take care of Urshifu next turn. I fear the Iron Hands. That's where I get. Yeah, and then in which case switching to Miraidon is a better play, since I can try and bait a fake out play. Good. Which means they're a slower Urshifu. I mean, they have to be a slower Urshifu. Well, that just verifies that it's not Scarf, just play the right way of saying that. It doesn't mean that my Dazzling Gleam isn't about to obliterate them, though. Okay. They are significantly slower Urshifu. Sash. My Psychic goes next. Good. Even though they're taking a double KO here, I have taken a pretty good position. Problem is, for this period of time, I'm just not going to be. I'm not going to be slow enough. What I can do is I can Psychic Miraidon pretty safely. Reducing Iron Leaf speed is not going to help me at all. I reduced Miraidon, Fake Tears, survive the turn. It's my only way. It's not a good way though. I'll Moonblast to guarantee damage. Yeah, they are attacking to the leave slot. It's too much. Unfortunate. Very sad. Very sad. I'm going to quickly check my rating. If it's that bad, then I might actually play more. Because I got enough, I want to leave it on a terrible note. Yeah, that's not great. What's a little bit more? Let me quickly fix something. We're going to play a tiny bit more, just leaving it on oopsie, we dropped, like, we only went down substantially. Doesn't feel good. I don't want it to be a substantial loss. That'd stink. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that. Let's make it happen. For the millionth time in a row, we're up against a Miraidon team. So I kind of want to lead into Trick Room. For this one, I'm going to lead Miraidon. I'm going to bring Crown. Insane. I brought Fluttermane last time. When it came down to it, it was kind of useless. Because I couldn't get through Trick Room myself. It's like the Trick Room I was putting up did not help. I can now Trick Room, pivot to Insane. Well, let's be a bit more deliberate here. Okay. If I go to Iron Crown, once we're in Trick Room, bingo bongo. They tried to let it's over. They just forfeited. Cool. That was quick, and we're not above 1200, so we can play one last one more. And I mean, what's one more? Finally. This is what I've been kind of been interested in seeing. Is this a rain matchup? Like, how much of their team can actually handle the Iron Crown offense? Not much. What I can do is I can lead Tornadus, Miraidon, guaranteed safety, put Iron Crown Fluttermane in the back. What I can do is I can Tailwind, Terrastallize, Volt Switch into the Tornadus. Landorus has the unique benefit of one, it being fast enough, but it also could just be Scarfed, and I don't want to deal with that. That was dangerous for no reason. If they EQ or Stomping Tantrum or anything like that, then I'm probably cooked. Yeah. I guess it's fine, since Miraidon's going to hit the field again. Yeah, this is fine. Let's see it. Special Defense Brute Bonnet. We've verified that Landorus is at the bare minimum is a speed tie now. There's a part of me that wants to just for like the random ass matchup like Landorus Therian, just in case, go that 1 point higher. But I imagine that 99% of the Landorus I see are going to be Scarfed, so that doesn't do much. That does a lot. My Bleak Wind does not pick up the KO on either. How fun is that? But you know what does actually equal fun? Kyogre hitting the field. That guarantees the bleak wind hits, that guarantees the dazzling gleams. Very good. They can click water spout, but it doesn't matter now. Since Flutterman's going to hit the field, they forfeit, they know it's over. That's good. Whew! There we go. We mightn't have made ground today, but I didn't settle for losing. We finished strong. We made them forfeit pretty quickly in both games. In both games. Yeah. That's that. I'm gonna call it there. This is gonna be a slightly more edited version of the video, which is nice. Like there's that little bit where I did the type use the type calculator and all that kind of stuff. Like stuff like that's gonna get edited down a little bit. Just a tiny bit. So look forward to that. Well, you've already seen it, so if you got this far and you liked it, please tell me. Pretty please. I need people to tell me these things. I need your feedback, please. Anywho, like, subscribe. A wise man once said, even in defeat I lose. I think I've said everything important. So yeah, bye.